Well, guys, after San Diego home prices faltered in February, they are now back, and forward-looking indicators suggest that pricing will remain strong heading into the spring. That's what we're looking at in today's San Diego real estate update for March 13th, 2025. Let's get right into it. And we're looking at the latest weekly print from Redfin for the San Diego metro market. Each line represents a year. The green line represents 2025, the orange line represents 2024, etc. And we're looking at the median sale price of a home in San Diego. Right now, we're at $903,000. That represents a $21,000 gain over the last 2 weeks. And guys, we talked about this kind of like mellow February we had in which pricing actually fell at a time of year when pricing is generally beginning to climb. But in the last 2 weeks, we've really made up for it with this nice little bump in pricing. And I got to tell you, with pricing climbing like this, you really can't afford to blindly agree to pay your agent 3.5% or even 2.5% to help you buy a home in San Diego, even when that agent tells you not to worry about it because the seller is going to cover it. Let me show you why. Let's say you are a home buyer in San Diego and you've linked up with an agent who works for a 2.5% commission. Now you found a median home being offered by a median home seller. Median home price right now is $903,000. We're going to round that down to $900,000 just to make the math easier. So you make an offer for $900,000 and the seller agrees to pay your agent's commission, which in this case is $22,500. Now, this little boomerang action right here is the bullshit logic that realtors use to make you think you're not paying their commission when you are. Let me prove it to you. If you were able to afford this $900,000 home, but you had to pay your agent the commission directly, it would look something like this. Here you are, a happy home buyer. Here's your agent with their 2.5% commission. Here's our median seller selling their median home. In this case, after paying your agent that 2.5% commission of $22,500, you can only afford to offer the seller $877,500. Well, guess what? Whether the money weaves its way through the seller or not, that's actually what you're doing in both cases, because in both cases, the seller's final proceeds come out to $877,500. These two scenarios aren't different. When your agent tells you that the seller is going to cover his commission, that means you're actually offering that much less money to the seller. I'll prove it. Look, let me just clean this up right here. Let's say you're out and about looking to buy a home in San Diego and you come across an agent who only charges 1%. You got your same seller with your same median San Diego home and you offer that seller the median $900,000. But in this case, the seller only has to pay your agent 1%, which is $9,000. Well, in this case, the seller's proceeds from the sale come out to $891,000. So you tell me, who's going to win this bidding war? The buyer who's offering the seller proceeds of $877,500 or the buyer who's offering proceeds of $891,000? I'll tell you guys, every day, this guy's winning. Telling you that the seller is paying their commission is just part of the scam that realtors are running on San Diego home buyers. I've exposed the full scam. I'm going to post the link right up there. Check it out. I'll also put the link in the description. If you're planning to buy a home in San Diego, this is a video you're really going to want to watch. Let's get back to the data now. Now we're looking at new listing median price. This is the median price of new listings that came to market in San Diego this week. We're hovering at $941,975. This is just $5,000 shy of the all-time new listing median price peak set in June of last year. And with new listing median price climbing since the beginning of the year, we unfortunately can expect price climbs ahead. You see, new listing median price is an excellent indicator of where agent sentiment is because agents set listing prices, and the listing prices that are being set this week are being set in response to what the market is doing this week. And when agents are raising list prices, it means they expect to sell homes for more money. Now, they're not always right, but they're also closest to the market and have a pretty good feel for what's going on. So with new listing median price climbing, unfortunately, I think we'll see sales prices climbing in the weeks and months ahead. Fortunately, new listings had a bit of a breakout over the last 2 weeks when we're now up to 636 new listings came to market in San Diego this week. That's up 17.5% year over year. That's great news for homebuyers. We want new listings to jump out ahead of last year. New listings means more inventory. More inventory means more downward pressure on pricing. Looking at homes sold, we see another ray of light for San Diego homebuyers. In fact, it's hard to see where homes sold is because it's right in the mix of last year in 2023. This week, we sold 432 homes in San Diego. That's off of last year's numbers by 2.7%. Now, you can see at the beginning of the year, we were ahead of last year. The green line is ahead of the orange line, and now we're trailing behind last year in homes sold. That indicates waning demand. That's a good thing if you're trying to get into the market. The fewer other buyers there are, the less competition, the better pricing that you'll be able to get. And with a reduced number of homes leaving market by way of being sold, but an increased number of homes coming to market by way of new sales, that means that active inventory should be growing, which of course is why it's surprising to see active listings dropping right now. Now, I've said this before, I think this is a tabulation error on Redfin's part. Active listings in San Diego, by all means, should be growing right now. What's interesting, so this is a trend we're seeing in all of our SoCal markets. Active listings are falling off a cliff in a way that just doesn't add up with the rest of the metrics. In San Diego, the decline has been the least of the markets around it, like the Inland Empire and Los Angeles. But with the error here being so weak, to me, that means that active listings are almost definitely growing in San Diego. Now, unfortunately, with the active listings data kind of screwy, that also means the weeks of supply data is going to be screwy because I assume that this weeks of supply data is based on the active listings data and not the inputs that feed the active listings data. So we really can't rely on this. I believe that supply numbers are probably a bit higher than reflected in this graph. Either way, even with this tabulation error, we still have more inventory on the San Diego market than in any of the previous 3 years. And again, I would think that the number's probably up there. This is a good sign for San Diego homebuyers. Even though prices are high, even though realtor expectation is that prices will continue to climb, the inventory in San Diego is growing, and that's great news for San Diego homebuyers. And one data point we can look at to support that conclusion is the average sale to list ratio, which right now in San Diego is 99.5%. By comparison, last year at this time, we were over 100% at 100.1%. Now remember, when the average sale to list ratio is over 100%, it means that people are buying homes above their list price. That's an indication of a hot market, a market that's warming up. When the average sale to list ratio is below 100%, that means that buyers are buying homes for less than list price on average. That indicates a market that's soft and cooling down. Now, you can see the trajectory of this line is up, so I wouldn't say that the San Diego market is cooling down, but it is definitely still on the cool side relative to last year. I'll be posting another San Diego real estate update in 2 weeks. In the meantime, check out my playlist, How to Buy a House in California. It's full of real gritty insider tips about how to buy a house in California without getting screwed over. Check it out. I'll see you in 2 weeks.